So we're going to look backwards a little bit to last night because both candidates had events in Pennsylvania that are still kind of reverberating around the political and media world. So Donald Trump did this rally. It was supposed to be not a rally. It was supposed to be a town hall. He took a couple questions. Two audience members got sick, and Trump did kind of a closing remarks, which Democrats are pretending he didn't do. And then he said, hit the music. And he stayed dancing like it is for almost an hour. 101, please.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing.
So if you're a Republican and you're not hostile to Trump and you watch the entire event, you would just see Trump was sort of bored with the format, wanted to play music. The room was so hot, he didn't want more people to faint. So he ended the event in an unorthodox way. It's definitely unorthodox. The Democrats are painting it as like Trump is now fully mental and unhinged. And Kamala Harris tweeted at him, "Are you okay?" This is the classic thing where the Democrats seem to feel like, well, this is something we can really drive the news cycle with because Trump is insane. And the Republicans are like, are you insane? If you watch the whole thing, there's nothing insane about it. We'll discuss that in a second. But I will say that was what it was good for Democrats. And I think what got them aggressive about it was Kamala Harris was already on the Unhinged train at her event where she, noted plagiarist of ideas of Donald Trump, see what I did there, did for the first time, I believe, something Trump does at his rallies, which is she went to the big screen and she played some video of Trump to show the audience and get everybody riled up and get the media to focus on her message in a more vivid way. 102, please.
I've said for a while now, watch his rallies. Listen to his words. He tells us who he is. And he tells us what he would do if he is elected president. So here tonight, I will show you one example of Donald Trump's worldview and intentions. Please roll the clip.
The worst people are the enemies from within.
The enemy from within. Those people are more dangerous, the enemy from within, than Russia and China.
These people should be put in jail the way they talk about our judges and our justices. Now, if you had one really violent day, one rough hour, and I mean real rough.
I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military.
Whether this will be Kamala Harris's message today or for the next 3 weeks, but last night it was her message, reminiscent of the Biden message when he was the nominee. This person is unstable and unhinged, and the people who've worked closest with him do not trust him to be president. There's a new Harris ad with those lines. And then finally, here it is from her own mouth, 102, please.
Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged. And he is out for unchecked power. That's what he's looking for. He wants to send the military after American citizens. He has worked to prevent women from making their own health care decisions and threaten your fundamental freedoms and rights, like the freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to...
So, Dan, what do you think accounts for what you and I both sensed yesterday, which is more confidence than Democrats on the weekend? Is it simply the fact that there weren't any polls released? Why were Democrats more confident yesterday?
I think this is the fight that Democrats have wanted. And, you hear it on here. I hear it from friends, family, people in New York. Yes, inflation, the economy, immigration, safety are important, but they always come back to, but he's crazy. What he says at his rallies, the late night tweets, like a lot of Democrats have wanted to elevate this fight. And I think the campaign, because not only did Kamala Harris say this yesterday, Tim Walz actually drove this same message. So they've come as far as they're going to get, closing the gap on the economy, on inflation, on immigration. Yes, she's going to try to target, Black men with some small policy specifics. But this fight to elevate kind of out of the trees for the whole forest is what I think Democrats have been dying, to hear. And, bringing up the Supreme Court, bringing up abortion. And I also think tactically, this is about those suburban voters that we've heard in focus groups who say, I like Trump's policies, but I really don't like the person. These are people who can kind of afford bacon and the price, that it is today. And they want to really just bring back to the forefront, when you go into the voting booth, do you really want to go back to all of this crazy? And I think Democrats are excited today that they're doing this.
Sean.
I think it was just Columbus Day. They all had a day off, so they were excited. I feel like she said one thing yesterday. She is so desperate message wise. We'll see if this sticks, but I think that if we've watched the iteration of what she has said, who knows what she'll come up with tomorrow. There is a list that is way too long to go through of all of the falsehoods that she told in that speech. I don't even know where to begin with some of it, but the bottom line is, look, I go back to what we said at the beginning. We're 21 days out. She's got one event at 5:00, and it's a taped interview with Charlemagne the God on iHeart. This is not a campaign that looks like it's, if you're the underdog, you're selling that you're out there hustling. She is not doing that. She's throwing out some tidbits. And I think this reeks of desperation. The idea that you've now gone through issues, you shunned Joe Biden when he said he was a threat to democracy as an issue, and now you're back to it because I think they've realized that this is the only thing they have left. We'll see how long it sticks.